Welcome to the Commissioner's Report. I'm your host, Jeremy Morady. With me today, we have two distinguished guests, District 4 County Commissioner Martha Santiago.
Hello.
And Cedric Cox, who is from Polk County's Housing and Neighborhood Development. Thank you both for coming in and taking the time to really talk about an important program that we have going on. It's one of many. We've had the Emergency Rental Assistance Program that's really gotten some help to folks in our community who need it most. And Commissioner Santiago, can you tell us a little bit about the program and how this came to the commission and came for approval?
Sure, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to do this. I think this is very important for our people to hear. This is a wonderful program, and now Cedric will give you the specifics of the program, but I just want to say this is a wonderful program for our residents because they're coming from the COVID part of horrible time in COVID. And this allows people to apply so that they can get assistance with their rental. We know the evictions are taking place or could take place, so this program is real important. So I think it's very, very important for us to really, really stress that this program is here for the people and they have to know how to apply for it because we are coming to a deadline. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah, and it's one of a number of programs that the Commission's put through in the last year and a half.
Absolutely.
To get a lot of this funding out to the folks who need it the most. Cedric, if you could, tell us a little bit about the breakdown of this program.
Some of the breakdown of this program entails providing rental assistance to individuals that were furloughed, laid off, or had a reduction in income that was caused specifically by COVID-19. And the purpose of the funding is to ensure that individuals are stabilized in their homes. They can apply for this assistance online at www.polk-county.net, and there's a link in that website that they can click on that'll take them directly to the application, and they just fill in, the basic information, and it'll provide up to $12,000 in rental assistance arrears and utility assistance.
Okay.
So Cedric, who exactly receives this money? I mean, tell the people who and how they can apply.
As I previously stated, they can apply directly online at polk-county.net. Payments go directly to the landlords. That's our first priority. Mm-hmm. We make every attempt to make the payment to the landlord. However, if we do have some landlords that refuse to participate in the program, we can pay the tenants directly. Also, if there is a landlord that just refuses to participate in the program and want the tenant to move, we can also help stabilize that tenant in another household by paying their first, last, and security to move to another unit.
I think that's real important information for people to know. So I'm glad that Cedric is really pointing that out because they're thinking, if my landlord doesn't want to apply, what do I do?
Yes,
so that's really good information.
Well, and two, if I remember right, originally, or maybe it was a previous program, it required the participation of both parties, but that's changed now.
Yes, to a certain degree. We try to encourage the landlord to participate in the program because they have a lot of the documentation that is required to process the applications. However, in the best interest of the tenants, we don't want to cause undue harm to the tenants by not providing assistance should a landlord choose not to participate in the program.
Well, and just so it doesn't get away from me here, because we did say there was a deadline coming up.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and what that deadline is.
The deadline is August 13th. It was originally August 3rd, but we pushed that back to the 13th because we know the eviction moratorium is coming to end here on July 30th, 31st. Mm-hmm. And with that, we're anticipating an influx of individuals, and we wanted to provide them ample opportunity to apply for the rental assistance.
How are you seeing a lot of people applying, Cedric?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good.
And working with our third-party vendors that's processing the applications, we do weekly telephone calls with them to get status updates, and we track that data on a weekly basis.
Wonderful. So now, looking at this, what is some of the documentation that they need to go through and have in order to really expedite that process?
The basic qualifying documentation is an ID, identification, driver's license, proof of loss due to COVID, showing that they were affected in some way, shape, or form due to COVID, whether it be a layoff letter from their employer, a unemployment, proof of receiving unemployment compensation, and or a positive COVID-19 test result. Those are and a current rental lease agreement. Those are the primary documentation that's required. We also have a call center available for individuals that are having issues applying, that they'll walk them through the process.
Okay. So also, are there any income restrictions?
Yes, sir. There are. All individuals that apply must meet the 80% income qualifying criteria. And just to put it in perspective a little for you, a family of 4 can't be over $49,350. That's the 80% of the area median income.
And is that posted on the website when they go to see that, so to be sure, right?
Yes, ma'am. All of that information is posted on the website.
Yeah, so you don't have to be reading fast on the fly or taking quick notes for this show.
Absolutely.
So everything go through the website, because it really is a streamlined process
And
that
they
we have
can,
set up.
and if there's any questions or any difficulty or anything like that, there are people on standby to answer anything that
We have
they
a
may
dedicated call center that's open
That's
9
great.
o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon to screen and take all phone calls and to assist any individuals that are having complications filling out the application.
That's wonderful.
And that's extremely important, because sometimes this can be a little confusing for people.
Yes, ma'am.
And so just knowing that there's somebody on the other end of the line that is willing to help, I think it's very, very important.
And I think it's something that's gone really well too for the community to help walk them through that process, whether it was our seniors program or the COVID registration that we helped out with initially. It's that same dedicated call center that has really come in to help folks get through these processes.
Yes, sir.
Well, our goal is to help the people and to make sure this is, I think it was $17 million
Yes,
that was
ma'am, you're correct.
appropriated
Yes, ma'am,
from the
you're
federal
correct.
government to Polk County to help out. And I think it's important that we utilize this money where it's needed. And there is a lot of need out there.
Yes, it is. And it is, the goal of housing and neighborhood development to help stabilize all of the individuals that had an adverse effect due to COVID-19 to maintain their housing stabilization.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here, sharing the importance of this program, and hopefully we get a lot more people signed up and helped.
Absolutely. It's always my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And that about does it all for this edition of Commissioner's Report. Again, I'm your host, Jeremy Moretti, and thank you for joining us.